What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. This is episode number 24. We're starting today's stuff on the back of our big win over Chelsea, first scalp of the save. And it came in the EFL Cup. Yep, our win over Chelsea at Stamford Bridge puts us into the final four of the Carabao Cup, where of course we'll be drawn against Mikel Arteta's Arsenal in a two-legged semi-final, with the first leg coming in North London at the Emirates Stadium. And heading into the game after 6 wins in 7 in all competitions for Southampton, best run of form of the series, let alone the season so far. Our first game today, Ralph's Manchester United on Christmas Day. And the gift I wanted at the halfway point in the season, after this game we'd be 19 games in, was to stay in the top 4. Because for the first time ever, Southampton are in a Champions League spot, 4th place. And it had me wondering, heading into the first game of today's episode, the top 4, really? Is that something we can pull off? Because at the start of the season, I didn't even think 5th place was realistically a possibility. But now I'm starting to wonder and starting to think it might well be so. But the problem we've got is that ironically, whilst we just beat Chelsea in our last game for our first scalp of the series, is that we can't beat the big teams. And if you want to be a top 4 team, you got to win these games. Like, you got to be able to compete against the very best in the league. You know, to finish in the top 4, that's a heck of an achievement. And it's mainly reserved most of the time for the big boys. So if you want to get in there, you got to beat the big boys as well. You got to be as good as the big boys. You got to beat them. And of course, at the moment, we can't do that. We just beat Chelsea, yes, but that was the EFL Cup. We've not recorded a scalp in the Premier League since the series began. So against Manchester United, after Tate gave them the early lead, I was thinking, this to me is the game which will determine whether we really are capable of having an incredible season and finishing in the top 4 and defying all odds. To me, these final 2 games of the Premier League in the calendar year, Manchester United and Liverpool, both 2 teams right now in the top 2, chasing the title. This was, to me, the big period, the big couple of games where I'd know for sure whether we've got what it takes. After we surrendered the first goal, Che Adams put us back on level terms directly afterwards. And whilst I was looking good when going forward defensively in this game, I was just getting torn apart. 24 minutes to go in the game, still tied at 1-1. The Red Devils are pushing, looking to get back in front, and they do so as well. You got to watch this, man. And okay, alright, fair enough with KWP. I thought he was going to make the tackle and I'd dribble out to the right. In the end, he left the ball behind. But Ronaldo with the skill moves here. The quick little ball rolling 0-0 flick. And then Tate takes over with the roulette to beat Kyle Walker-Peters and then smack it home for his brace. That was an amazing, amazing goal. With KWP, I thought he was going to make the tackle and I'd dribble out to the right. He left the ball behind, but even so, incredible goal there. And we're behind once again. So trailing at St Mary's for the second time in the game. But again, whilst defensively I was looking shaky like I very often do in this year's FIFA, I also look very good when going forward. And as Ritzy finds JWP, quick little hold up here, gets it back off his man, and oh my goodness gracious me. I often talk about it in big games and in big moments in the season. The captain always seems to deliver. 19 minutes on the clock, and it's a thunderbolt from our club captain, JWP. Weaker left foot, drill past Daya, only his second goal of the season, but both goals have been absolute crackers. It's 2-2. We're back on level terms for the second time in the game, and I was desperately trying to hold on. Manchester United were throwing so many white shirts forward, looking for that late game winner. And oh my goodness, I thought they got it. Frank Kessie, the former Milan midfielder, rolled through by Ronnie, and David Raya right now joint top of the clean sheet charts with an incredible save with the right leg. The former Brentford and Blackburn goalkeeper with an incredible stop there, keeping it at 2-2 as we desperately tried to cling on for the point against the Red Devils. Corner whipped in, Bruno Fernandes finds Jadon Sancho, and the former Dortmund winger beats his man in the air, heads it home near post, and I knew at that point we weren't going to come back again. We come back from a goal down on 2 separate times. I couldn't see us doing it again with a minute of normal time to play. Oh! Oh my god, Armstrong off the woodwork, and then De Gea denies him from the follow-up attempt, and the Red Devils escape at the death, and I thought I'd levelled it for the third time in the game, courtesy of an Adam Armstrong blockbuster off the woodwork, and oh my goodness, so unfortunate, but just couldn't find that late leveller. Final score 3-2, and our undefeated run is ended by Manchester United. A fantastic run of form for the Saints, best of the series so far. So unlucky not to get a draw, but it is a loss, and it does mean on Christmas Day I'm left feeling like there's a lump of coal in my stocking, because as you can see, we drop out of the top 4 and we drop to 6th. Liverpool top by 3 points, Red Devils 2nd, Spurs 3rd, Leicester 4th, but look at how congested it is from Spurs in 3rd with 33 points, as we're in 6th right now with 31. Spurs are in 3rd, right, with 33 points, and as I gradually go down the table, it is ridiculously congested. Again, reminder, Spurs have 33 points, they're in 3rd. They're only 10 points clear of Brighton in 16th. It's unbelievable. The bottom 3 are the Blades, Crystal Palace and Bristol City. Fulham are in 17th. The bottom 4, the reason why the table is like this is because the top 2 are several points clear, Liverpool and the Red Devils. But the bottom 4, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Bristol City and Sheffield United, they are like so far adrift of the other teams in the league right now. So it's just like, there's just this massive cluster from the teams between 3rd and 16th. Again, only 10 points. And I say only 10 points. I know it's double digits, but even so, at this point in the season, 10 points is not an astronomical gap. It's absolutely crazy how tight it is right now. And it's why, you know, we just got into 4th place heading into that game on Christmas Day there. But if we lose like 3 on the bounce, we're down to like 14th place. It's unbelievable how tight it is right now. And it really is crazy to think that even Brighton right now in 16th place could go on a run in the early stage of the second half of the season, being in the top 4. It's absolutely incredible. But as I run you through the team here halfway through the season, I got to say so far my standout players. I'd say Ray has done well between the sticks, 5 clean sheets so far, joint top clean sheet maker, JWP consistent as ever. But I think Lookman and Adams to me, and also Ritzu as well, have been my star players so far. It's funny because like Bale started off the season on red hot form. He had 7 goals and I think it was 9 or 10, but since then hasn't scored in 8 or 9 games. He's really struggled recently. And again, he had that red-hot start. I remember very well. The first 7 games, he had 6 goals and 4 assists. Man was on fire. Well, since then, the goal contributions have really dried up. And it's ironic as well because we're actually in great form right now. I know we just lost to the Red Devils there, but that was our first loss in several. But we're actually in really good form and we're playing really well. Just dumped out Chelsea in the EFL Cup, first ever semi-final place, still in the European spot despite dropping out of the top 4. It's amazing to think that like when we were performing inconsistently, Bale was on fire. But now we're in reasonably decent form and Bale's taken a back seat. It's crazy how that's worked out, but even so, it's been a good first half of the season, despite the big loss to the Red Devils there. Our first ever semi-final place against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. Big underdogs for the game, no doubt about it, but I'll give it my best shot. And still in a European spot as well. It's been a great first half of the season. We started off the campaign struggling mightily, but since then, we've really picked it up. Having said that, I talked about it. Final 2 games of 2022, Red Devils and Liverpool. Top 2 right now taking on league leaders Jurgen Klopp's side at St Mary's. If we can't win these games or even get points in the games, I don't think we're going to be able to break up the top 4 this season. Stay in the Europa League or Europa Conference League spot, definitely possible. It just means we'll have to keep on beating the teams below us in the table. But if we can't beat the teams above us and the traditional top 6, which we still yet to do in the Premier League since the series began, there's no way we're going to finish in the top 4. So taking on Liverpool, I needed to get back to winning ways or at least get a point against Klopp's side. Couldn't afford back-to-back losses to close out December, and after Fabinho gave them the lead, oh, finally, just sneak dissed him a moment ago. And what did he do? I talked about it. He's often been regarded as a big game player. Gareth Bale. Finally, the goal drought is over for our Welsh wizard, 8th in 17 for the vet as we're back on level terms. So 1-1, it's Bale with the goal right before the break, in off the underside of the crossbar. Momentum really changed after that as well. Big goal from Bale there before the break, and then we started to get the chances. 12 minutes after the restart, Theo Walcott off the bench, probably playing his final season for the Saints, heading wide. We're still tied at 1-1, but we were getting some really good chances in the first 20 minutes of the second half. 65 minutes in, another another golden opportunity. Adam Armstrong on the ball, rolls that wide towards Nathan Redmond, in behind Mazraoui with the ball roll, rolls it across, and it's a great save by Alisson on Stuart Armstrong. So it's still tied at 1-1, but it was all Saints in the second half, and I was pushing for that winner. I talked about it. Haven't had a scalp in the Premier League since the series began, and I really wanted my first one here before New Year's Day. 15 minutes on the clock. Oh my God! And it's vintage Gareth Bale. Bale, where have you been over the past couple of months? What a goal with 15 minutes on the clock. And you gotta see the replays of this goal. I rarely include both replays, but this one justified it. Goal of the series for me, 25 yards from goal. And this reminded me of Bale in his final Spurs years when he scored those screamers from range. I think there was one against Sunderland, if I remember, on the final day when Spurs were chasing fourth, which was incredible. It might not have been Sunderland, I can't remember now, but even so, Gareth Roberto Carlos Bale. Did you see the bend for that second replay there? Reminded me of that iconic Roberto Carlos free kick all those years ago as Bale surely wins us the game with a thunderbolt. But with 2.5 minutes to go, wouldn't you just know it? Those late goals in FIFA, so hard to stop. Sadio Mane, of all the players to do it, back at St Mary's. I swear he scored against me in almost every game we've had Liverpool so far in the series. 13th goal in 20, chasing the golden boot, turns his man, blasts it home. Our 2 minutes of normal time to go. Bale's brace was brilliant, but it wasn't enough. Final score 2-2. I really felt as though I deserved to win the game as well. I had some great chances in the second half, but in the end, despite the Bale brilliance, for the first time in a while, to be fair, he's gone missing for ages, but now, hopefully, he can get back to his best. It wasn't enough. Final score 2-2 against Liverpool, and like I said, because the table is so congested, a draw's not a bad result against the league leaders, but instead, we've now dropped down to 7th. 32 points on the board, but again, because of how congested it is, only 3 points off Man City, but only 7 points off Newcastle in 16th. It's been a crazy first half of the season. Now, with the January window about to open, my decision is this. Do we make moves or do we stick with what we got? With that, we'll end today's episode of the Realistic Career, guys. Big thank you for watching. Enjoyed it. If you haven't, like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the next episode featuring the January transfer window opening very soon.